Oh, Dave, good to see you.
Good to see you. That's good. You feel that way.
I'll just start with this here. If someone were to tell you 4-2 preseason about a couple of weeks ago, how would you feel about the progress of today?
Yeah, I guess I haven't even really thought a whole lot about the win-loss piece of it. We've made progress. In the the last two games for us. Obviously, as you get closer and closer towards the the NHL regular season, things start to get a little more real. So you start to get a little more accurate information, a little more feedback as to where you're at as a team, as to where you're at, certain players are at individually, and we've made some nice strides. We're doing a lot of good things, but last night we weren't there yet. We didn't play a complete hockey game. So we've got a nice day off, coming tomorrow, and then a couple of good work days as we get ready to ramp up for the real thing.
Remember, you said tough decisions are looming ahead here, but as far as injuries factoring in, where are you at right now with Jaden Schwartz, Donskoy, and Kempney as well?
We'll just keep continue monitoring. Obviously, Kemps has been part of practice, the last couple of days. Schwartz, he's day to day with lower body, and Donnie's status hasn't changed. So, we'll take everything into account here. Obviously, some final decisions still to be made, and then probably the bigger, as big a piece once those final decisions are made are, how do things fit together, and what's the right fit for our group in this room as we go into the game on Wednesday night.
Next 2 days of practice, is that just about fine-tuning? Is that kind of the goal here?
We've got a lot of work to do. There's no fine-tuning yet. We're not there yet. So we've got work to do to continue building. All the foundational pieces are there. Now it's a matter of, getting those things solidified, getting quicker, getting better, getting harder and more physical in certain areas, doing things more naturally and quicker in terms of execution, and all of those things we have to continue working at.
Noticed Sprung wasn't in practice today. Is that a injury thing or?
It's just a personal day off the ice. Yeah.
And then as far as the couple guys on waivers today, Decord and True, probably some more decisions coming. What was your message to those guys as they left?
To the two,
Mm-hmm.
Again, just direct, quick conversations. Joey's camp was a good, he had a good, strong beginning to camp. The outing in Vancouver probably didn't go as well as he'd wanted, but he's got to continue building his game and looking towards the future. Same thing with Truzy. He's a reliable player for us. He had a good camp. We certainly wanted to reward him with being here up until today.
Dave, in terms of good camps, anybody else that stands out over the couple of weeks?
Not really for me, Bob. I don't know if anybody really stands out. I mean, everybody's fighting for something and battling for something. So I don't like picking guys out of the crowd, and saying this guy has done a better job than somebody else. I would tell you this, that collectively I think we've had a hard-working camp. I think we've had a competitive camp. I've already mentioned, for me, the completeness of what we're doing and the execution has to continue to rise. So that's gonna, you start looking around the room to your veterans in the room that have been through it before, and the elevation that's necessary to go from where we're at to today to where we have to be at on Wednesday.
Speaking of Wednesday, for the two-game trip, would you like to keep your lines and pairings together? Is that sort of a goal for the two games?
Not really worried about the second game right now. We're going to focus on game one, and then we'll see where we're at Thursday morning after that. There's so many different factors at play. So, it's a fact. It's a fact of the schedule. We play 3 and 4. The first two are back to back. But in saying that, it's still one piece at a time. Worry about one lineup for Wednesday night in Anaheim.
Dave, as you trim your roster, players are obviously changing organizations, but right now they're geographically close. Does that help you in the continued development of your talent and also connection between the coaching staffs?
Well, it does. The connection. Dan and his staff are phenomenal in terms of the things that they're doing, and they're in the middle of training camp right now. So they're working to build their team, and obviously that involves the individuals that are coming down from our group to them. and others. So they're working hard to build their team and build their, the way, their culture is in their dressing room. And, we know that our guys are going to go from here to there and be in great hands.
Dave, getting down to 2 goalies, how do you feel preseason best served guys like Ruby and Martin Jones?
Well, it's a process for those guys. I mean, first of all, there's a competition at play. And then, there's also, as you're going through that the competition and working for playing time, there's also, the idea of, building your readiness for the regular season. And, those 2 guys they've had, really good, consistent camps. Their work days have been good. Some of the things that you don't, maybe you don't see or you don't notice, those pieces have been in place. They've done the work. Seen their games get sharper. Their games have been consistent throughout. Now it's the next step is just taking that with a couple more good work days, continuing to have great confidence, and go out and get ready for the first regular season game for each of them.
Last night, Dave, you said you'd like to see your group as a whole handle the opposing forecheck's pressure better. Is that something you'd like to see more, like improvement physically, or is it in the mental side in terms of reading and anticipating it?
It's everything. I mean, you get in against a group we played out last night comes out with a lot of speed. They're big, they're skilled. They're a good forechecking team, so it's a good example of what you have to be able to handle. And you're not always going to be successful, but last night we put too many pucks on the yellow. Too many of those pucks that went to the yellow, we didn't come up with that 50-50 puck on the wall. So number one, I'd like to see us be able to get back a little quicker together, use the middle of the rink a little bit better, and then ultimately, when it's unavoidable, that puck's going to be on the wall for sure at times, and we have to do a better job there in getting ourselves out of the zone. So it's a lot of different pieces.
Did you golf on the trip, and how'd you do?
I did. I was phenomenal.
Beat Schulte?
Is there anybody else around? There it is. That's it. That's fact.
That must be true then.
Did I beat Schulte? Probably not. No. I mean, I haven't checked, but probably.
He shot in the
probably,
60s,
yeah,
right?
it probably wasn't close.
He's the best player on the team, best
What's
golfer.
that? I don't know. You'd have to ask the other guys, but I watched him hit a couple balls, and it was he can play.
All set? Awesome. Great.
Thanks, Dave.